Hello everyone. Well, if you've gotten up to watch these videos first thing in the morning, you are an early riser, and I'm really glad that you're here. If you're watching them later, I'm still glad you're here. This is the 4th Art Saturday video hop that is sponsored or put on or organized by, whatever you want to call it, Meri from TheMeriAtelier. And she has come up with these fun themes that we try to make a video on each month. And there are lots of players, and I'm hoping that you will, when we finish watching my video, besides liking it and subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, that you will go down in the description box and click on the very top link. My description box will take you, the top link will take you to the next person. And if you continue to click on the top link in everyone's description box, you will be back right around to where you started. So I hope you'll enjoy this video hop. The theme this month is excuse me, I apologize. 1 technique, 3 ways. Review a piece of art that I created and choose a technique that I used on that piece. Interpret that technique at least 3 different ways. She says, for example, stencils could be used in multiple ways. A box could be covered different ways. If possible, show my original piece and explain how I approach the same technique in different ways. Unfortunately, I didn't have what I thought was a piece of art that had the same technique in that one piece of art. It's more of a technique that I use often, and I have multiple ways of using it, and that is collaging book paper. And I'm talking about any kind of book paper that you take out of a book. This one's a little hard to see, but if you take a look, you can see multiple types of book paper under here. There's music paper, there's just regular book paper, there's some more book paper up there. That might be an atlas paper, so it's kind of a map. But the background collage is mixed up book papers. Now, in this art journal, one of the first layers was always book paper. Some of them you can't even see the book paper in. I was going to say, it got it got to me where more and more you could not find the book paper underneath. So one of the things I specifically wanted to show you on this one, though, is that the book papers go every which way. And they're definitely a base layer on that one. Now, on this book, on the cover, I used all the same pages, or not all the same pages, but all pages out of one book. So they're all the same color. These also go different directions. They're pretty big pieces, and they're all from a dictionary, and they go wiggly woggly, and they're all the same kind of white color in this on this cover. This book does not really use book paper as a background, but more as just as in the cover, and I did put one piece on the front. But this was collaged down in just general all overness, you know, just randomly is the word I'm trying to think of. Then this is another book where I used book paper, but for this one, if you know, first off, there's multiple colors of the book paper. In this, here's a better example. you can see that there's different colors, and the pages are all put down as if you could read the page. So the way I layered it down was not random. It was very definitely put on top of one another so that all of the writing is the right direction. Okay, these pieces of book paper all have all of their writing in the same, they're lined up all the same way. But I did use random colors of book paper. The age on the book paper made a difference. At the same time, these book papers are to the background. They're not really the main attraction because this had napkins layered over the top of it. So these are much less random, but using multiple colors of paper. This book is the same way. Again, I used multiple different books, different papers. I put them all on with their type going the right direction. If you notice in both of these books, I did not use the edges of the paper. This one again is very much covered. The book paper is very much the background. But again, it's not applied randomly. It's the colors are on there, and that makes the background have variation, but it all visually is kind of the same because everything is lined up and the letters go the right way. And this is one more book where I did the same kind of thing. And I picked up a couple of pages here where I definitely, you can see it. This book, that book paper is much more the feature of the collage. There are some added little floral things, but in all of these pages, the book paper being the multiple colors, the way the lines are in there, the little sections of paper are much more prominent and designed to show off the book paper. Okay, so that's another way that I have used it. Now, in all of those ways so far, I have not used the paper edges. I have used all of the pages where I took this paper edge off. Okay, this is another way I have used those book papers, but this is just the margins. It's all book paper margins, and it's from various books so that you see the various amounts of color. Now, one of the things about the way a book ages is the outside of the margin tends to get darker than the inside. And when you start taking the margins off a page, you will find that more and more it's lighter towards the type. This was just a master board I made just for using it just like that. I thought it was a pretty, it's a wonderful background. So that was another way. And I thought I would kind of show you how I work with the papers and do a little project and give you some little bits of ideas on what I'm talking about. First off, you want to have papers from multiple books that give you multiple colors. I also like different typefaces, different fonts. The age of a book will make a big difference as to what the color of the paper is, but also paper weights and different types of paper make a difference in the color. It's very hard to see on camera, but this piece right here, this is very lightweight paper, came out of an old law book, and it has just a tinge of more cream color than the whiter paper. It looks pretty much the same on camera, but it doesn't in visually in real life. So then, if I'm going to use it in my project, I will take the margins off. And to take the margins off, I simply take my pages. Is that just one page? And let me get this out of the way so that you're not... And I just, I use a ruler and I tear off the margins. Now, I usually go through and I pick out several pages from several different books. I let that slide because I was talking instead of doing. And I get them prepped like this. And then I go and I just randomly make them different widths, different lengths, and I tear up my papers. And then I would choose a different page and I would take the margins off in the same manner. And then I would have these pieces all stashed up and ready to go for my background collage. Today, I want to use the margins. So I save my margins. Okay, now I had them set here. There we go. And I just keep all the margins in a little bag. I actually keep the book pages in a little bag too. This way I have multiple colors of pages in one place. I don't have to hunt up another book to have a different color. And if I keep all the margins in one place, then I have them to work with in my project. So I have a batch of margins. And we need a substrate. And today I'm just going to use an envelope. And I need a few more margins out here. Another thing I have done is I often like the numbers that are on the pages. And so I will specifically pull out margins that have numbers. And I will use them in different spots on my page. So we're going to just start with a piece right here and we're going to go for it. Now I do have a waste book over here. Let me move over just a little bit more. You can see more. And this is what I use to glue. When I want to glue something and I'm going to use a glue stick, I want the edges of my paper to come out with glue on the edges. So I will use an old catalog, magazine, something that I can change the paper out, because once I get glue in 2 or 3 places, I need to get another line of paper. So Okay, everyone. I hope that I have followed the idea of what Meri wanted. I hope that I have given you some ideas of ways to use book pages in your collages that might be a little different than something you've used already. My biggest thing is that sometimes they go down randomly. Sometimes they're all from the same book, so they're all the same color. Sometimes they are used straight up and down, and so they look kind of like a newspaper. That's what they make me think of, is the columns in a newspaper. Oops, I really messed that up. I just hope that this has given you some little bits of ideas. The book margins, to me, are some of the most beautiful parts of the book. They, especially an old book, because they give you such variant of color. And using them, I mean, you could use all the same book margin, and then you would have a similar feel of color throughout the page. This particular masterboard doesn't have as much real light paper as I use today, and it looks different. Let me see if I can get some of it in there. So you've got a lot of options for collage backgrounds just using book paper, just using the pages out of a book. These are some simple punched butterflies out of a piece of black scrapbook paper. These flowers came from a piece of wallpaper out of a wallpaper sample book, and those little bits added on top of an already beautiful background, because I happen to love book paper backgrounds. It just, to me, is a lot of fun. I will try to put some links up above of some of the different flip throughs from some of the other journals I showed you, just so you can maybe see them a little better than what I showed at the beginning of this video. It's hard to put more than one link up there, so they'll probably be in succession. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you will make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Make sure that you hop to all of the other videos in the hop today. Like I said, if you will follow the top link in everyone's description box, you will see all the videos and hop right back down around to where you started from. Make sure to like everyone's channel. Make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss any of the hop notifications. And hopefully we'll see you next month. Go have fun. Make some art. Bye-bye.